Hey guys, I'm Louis, and today I'm going to show you how a humble YouTuber with only 100 subscribers makes his YouTube videos. Now this is my setup. I'm going to give you a tour around it, show you what plugs into where, and hopefully give you an idea about how you can start to make videos yourself on quite a small budget. So let me sit down there and show you what we've got. So this is my gaming setup. We are currently sat in my chair, and I'm going to give you an idea of the fundamentals that you need so that you can start making videos yourself. So all of my gameplay is going to be recorded off of the PS5. That is where I have most of my games. I don't have a big old gaming PC. What I do have, and what you will need, however, is some sort of computer. So I have my MacBook here. This has the M1 chip in it. I believe it was the first one with the M1 chip. And this handles everything that I could possibly want it for. Other things that you will need is a microphone. This is a Samsung Q2U. I will link to this in the description. It is wonderful. It connects via USB to my computer. I've got it on this little kind of gooseneck stand thing, dirt cheap off Amazon. Again, I will link something very similar in the description. You'll need a monitor to play your games on, and I use a headset like this just for game audio, because obviously I have my microphone for my voice. The main thing you will need to capture your game footage, however, is this. This is a capture card. Now, this one's quite old. This is the Elgato HD60S Plus, and this records in 1080p. It's really good for that, and it's quite cheap at the minute. Again, I will link it in the description. One final thing that you will need is some recording software. Now, I've got OBS set up on my laptop. It's totally free to install and use, so I recommend that one. Other softwares are available. I believe this comes with one, but I've always used OBS. One quick thing before you start, if you plan on using your PS5 to record footage, there is one key setting that you need to turn off in order to get your capture card to see the screen. What you need to do is you need to go into your settings, you need to go to System, then HDMI, and then you need to go to Enable HDCP, and you need to turn that off. Now, this will stop you from using certain applications such as YouTube or Netflix or anything like that that streams video, because you're not allowed to record that. So make sure it's turned off, and then this will prevent problems later on. Okay, there are two extra cables that you need to set this thing up. It will come with one of them, and that is the USB cable that it comes with. It's a really, really thick one, and I found in the past that you can't actually replace this with any other cable, so make sure that you hold on to the one that comes into the box. The other thing that you need is another HDMI cable, and what you're going to do is this. You're going to reach around the back of your PlayStation, pull out the HDMI cable that connects to the TV. So this HDMI has just come out of the PlayStation, and you can see that it wires into my monitor here. You're going to take this, and it's going to go into the out section of your capture card. So just like that, okay? So that is taking the feed from out of the capture card and into my monitor, all right? So now the PlayStation needs to get hooked up to the in port. So I'm gonna get my HDMI cable and just do that now. So one side goes into here, and the other side goes into the back of my PlayStation where I just pulled that first cable out. Now, you might be thinking, that's great, but I can't see anything. Now you need to take the cable that came with the HD60 and plug it into your computer. Now, if you have a computer like mine, which is a MacBook, you will probably need a dongle. Now, make sure you get a dongle with plenty of USB ports, because we're going to plug a lot of stuff into it. But make sure you've got a HDMI and a couple of USBs. So that's going to go into my computer, just like that. And then I'm going to get the cable that came with the HD60, plug one end into my little dongle here, the fat end, and then take the other end, which is USB-C, and plug that, now this is where the cables get a bit messy, and plug that into this little slot right here, above the in, okay? Now, if your computer's on, because what's happening now is the computer is actually powering the HD60 through that USB cable right there. So now, like you see, the lights came on, and what we should find in a minute is that my monitor, there we go, it comes through on there as well. So now the PlayStation feed is working through the HD60 to my monitor, and I have the feed going through this HDMI into my computer right here. Okay, the next thing I need is some sort of audio solution for my voice. Now, I have my microphone right here, and all I need to do is I need to take the USB cable from that and also plug that into my dongle so that I can get my voice sounding nice and crisp. So here we are, just got the HDMI from the microphone here, and it's just going to plug right into an available slot on my dongle. Now that is also going to power my microphone because the Samsung Q2U runs off of USB power, which is really, really, really handy. Now I'm going to show you how to set up OBS. So this is OBS on the screen and you should be able to see me in the corner. Hiya. So ignore everything that's currently on the screen because obviously I have this set up for myself, but when you open this originally, it will be completely empty. There won't be anything here. So ignore me, ignore where it says scene 2 and game record, ignore all of that. When you open up OBS, this should be all blank. And what you need to do is set up what's called a new scene. This is where you will arrange your game on the screen, yourself on the screen, and sort out all the audio inputs and things like that. So what you'll need to do, down in the bottom left-hand corner where it says scenes, you'll see a little plus button. You need to press that, and this will generate a brand new scene. So we're going to call it game record test. Brilliant. Okay, so this is where we're looking at now. So ignore where it says scene 2 and game record. Now you won't be able to see me because we're setting up a new scene and I've disappeared. So on the right here where it says sources, this is where we will select all of the different inputs, the audio, the video, and things like that to get everything set up on the screen. So press the plus button here, and we want to start maybe by adding the game capture itself. So we've got the HD60 plugged in, it's all up and running, the PlayStation's on and stuff, and we're going to select video capture device. You can call it whatever you want. I'll call it Elgato because that's what it is, okay? And press OK. Oh, it's already in use, so I'll call it 2. There we go. So you've got this panel now, and where it says device, you should be able to see your game capture HD60S there ready for you. So you can press that. Where it says preset, change that to as high as it will go, so 1080p, and then press OK. And you will see in OBS now that it's filled the screen. If I just go back on my PlayStation to my home screen, and you can see it all, it's in motion. I can flick around, I can do all of that stuff. Amazing. So that is that. But that is just the video, all right? That isn't any audio. So what we need to do now is we need to set up some audio inputs as well. So press the plus button again down here and go to audio input capture. All right. We're going to call this game audio. I might put 2 because I think I might already have one. But then this panel comes up and you simply select your HD60 again and press OK. Now you'll see that because you've got that background music on the PlayStation, the sound bar is kind of humming along nicely. As you play your game and as things get loud, you'll see that spike up and down. So what you'll need to do is use this little volume bar to mix that in once we start adding stuff like our voice and things like that. But leave that as it is for now. We now need to add me. So let's press the plus sign again and go to audio input capture again. All right. And this time we want to set up our microphone. So I'm going to put in microphone. Brilliant. And this time, because my microphone, like we did before, is plugged into my dongle and it's on, I can select the Samsung Q2U microphone right here and press OK. Now you can see that down here we've got 2 different audios going off. We've got the game audio, again that's just humming along nicely, and we've got the microphone audio beneath it here. So when I start yelling into the microphone like this, you can see that it goes, you know, red into the red. So your job when you start playing your game will be to mix these things together so that you sound clear enough over your game audio. I recommend trying some things out, trying some louder scenes, just so that you can get that mix right. Now we want to set up our faces. Okay, so I'm going to press plus one more time and go to, I believe it's video capture device again. All right, put camera, maybe this time. Okay, and where it says device, we're now going to select my webcam. So if you wanted a fancy webcam and stuck it on your computer, it would appear here as long as it's plugged in, but I'm just going to use the webcam on my computer. So I'm going to press that, and here I am. Hello again. Again, you can change the resolution depending on what's available. My webcam maxes out at 720, which is okay because it's going to be quite small in the corner of my screen. I'm going to press OK. Now, what you can see is on OBS, you now have the power to move these things around wherever you want. So I can move myself into the corner up here. Perfect. Now, you can go into the settings here if you go to properties, and you can change some of the bits and bobs. I think it's actually down here. Look, filters. And you can add a bunch of effects, you can color grade yourself, you can mask yourself, and that's how YouTubers kind of key out a green screen if they've got one, or if they want to like put themselves in a circle rather than a square. But I'll leave you guys to figure that out by yourself. But that's the option for that, okay? So now, as you can see, we've got our gameplay, and we've got yourself in the corner, and you're going to mix it together so it looks all like that.
Now, the default settings for OBS should be okay. There should be a process that allows you to automatically tailor it to your computer, whatever that is. So once you've done that, or if you do need to do that, that's in the settings down here on the right-hand side. So you can press settings, you can go to output, and you can change the video bitrate here. The higher the bitrate, the more taxing it's going to be on your computer, but the higher resolution and the smoother the video will be. But there are some quite simple presets in OBS that will do it for you. So for example, right now, the recording quality is high quality, medium file size, MP4, and things like that. If you want to do streaming, you can set up your YouTube streaming in here. Just go into YouTube Studio and link it through a key on here. I'll let you figure that out on your own again. Lots of different options, lots of different resolutions. Just flick through here and make sure everything's okay, but don't mess with it too much because it should be okay as it is. When you're ready to record, you simply start and press record. Check everything's okay, maybe do a test record first, play your game for a bit, talk into the microphone, and see how you get on. Make sure that you've told it where you want the recording to go. So in the settings again, where it says output, make sure you've defined where the recording will go, otherwise you might not be able to find it again.
So that's kind of it for my setup. There's only two more things that I'm going to mention. The first thing is lighting. I did have a ring light, it's down there currently, but I found if you've just got a lamp, that'll work just fine. Make sure it's behind the camera pointed at you, so then your face gets nice and well lit like this. The other thing is if you're using a headset, for example, I've got the Pulse Elites here. If you are doing this whole setup that I've just described, what you will find is that if you use Bluetooth audio, or if you do it through your controller, it might break the audio, okay? You might find that the audio then isn't coming through OBS as it should. If that's the case, the workaround that I've found is to hardwire your headphones using a cable into your monitor. So wherever the audio is going to come out of, make sure it's plugged into there. That should fix the problem. So that's it for this setup video. Please like and subscribe if you found it useful. I'm trying to grow the channel again after a long time of on and off, things like that. But this is kind of a document for me to kind of look back on in the future to see maybe how far I've come or something like that. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.